It is November 22nd, 2024. My name is Graham Mosimann, and this is your whip around the world of hockey in under 10 minutes or less. This is Game On Hockey, a presentation of the Game Over Network. Now, we haven't had a show for the last couple days, and I'm so sorry. Cards on the table. I am not sick. Nothing bad happened. I went to Bruce Springsteen with my mom on Tuesday, and I sung a lot of songs, and I lost my voice. So that's cool and fun and totally rad because myself, along with I think literally every other male presenting very white ass sports person, especially on radio in Canada, so many of us went to Bruce Springsteen. It was funny. Honestly, it was a big cultural moment for middle aged or approaching middle aged sports guys across Canada is getting to see Bruce Springsteen. Just the best show, though. It was so much fun. But that means we have a bunch of hockey to catch you up on because, of course, Game On Hockey is your rip around the hockey world in 10 minutes or less. First, though, I want to tell you about Hyperdrive Hockey. It is a brand new flagship show that we have here on the Game Over Network with Max, with Daphne, and Kevin, who take a look at the world of hockey through a distinctly French-Canadian perspective. And if you are perhaps someone that lives in Vancouver or Edmonton or somewhere that is not close to Montreal, I can't recommend this show to you enough because I myself, I know I'm very guilty of getting very comfortable in my little hockey bubbles and getting used to certain perspectives and ideas. And I love how Hyperdrive Hockey is able to touch on those and then add even more perspective from a French Canadian and specifically a non English speaking point of view. It's a great show. Go give it a subscribe wherever fine podcasts are sold. Now, we start with something good from the Department of Player Safety? Wow. So after a couple of suspensions that we've seen, the Department of Player Safety released a video explaining some of the confusion around Rule 48, and I just want to play you the start of it. I can't show it on video if you're watching us on YouTube, because we don't want to get demonetized. But just take the audio because I don't know whoever the guy is that does the voiceover for these. I want to meet him one day and ask him to record my phone message.
Over the last 2 weeks, the Department of Player Safety has reviewed dozens of plays for potential supplementary discipline. During that time, we have issued 2 suspensions for violations of Rule 48, the illegal check to the head rule. On November 7th, Tanner Jeannot delivered this illegal check to the head of Canucks forward Brock Besser. Then on November 16th, Ryan Reeves delivered this illegal check to the head of Oilers defenseman Darnell Nurse. On November 20th, Vegas defenseman Zach Whitecloud delivered a hit on Toronto forward Matthew Nyes that was reviewed by NHL hockey operations and the on-ice officials in-game for a major penalty, and was reduced to no penalty. In light of the similarities and differences among these 3 plays and their relatively high-profile nature, we want to take this opportunity to demonstrate some of the nuances that our department examines when we are reviewing hits that involve contact with the head.
Oh my God, they did something good. Could you imagine if the Department of Player Safety was still run by Colin Campbell? They would never do something like this. It'd just be, keep your head up and have a cigarette, you pansy. Like, that's as far as it would go. So, full hats off to the NHL for actually providing clarity. Because, wow, what a crazy thought. As fans, that's what we want. Clarity. Go give that video a watch when you have a sec. You can find it. We'll put it in the link in the description of this one. But it's really good. Good job, NHL. God, what a weird sentence to say. We head to some not awesome news now. As Alexander Ovechkin is going to miss 4 to 6 weeks as he has a fracture in his left fibula. Now, it is a bone. Bones do heal, so he should be back to a very similar level, you would hope, after this injury is done. But given the absolute scorcher of a goal pace he was on this season. Can he still get the record by the end of the season? Probably. Maybe. It could be snug. This something might now have to wait until next year. But just a bummer news. And it sucks because he also for the Washington Capitals. It turns out that team's still good and right in the thick of it when it comes to the Metro Division playoff race. Going to someone with a life post-hockey, I want to give some love to a former Montreal Canadiens great, and I still think you can argue one of the greatest Canadian goalies of all time, not Canadian, but Canadian specifically goaltenders, in Carey Price. He posted an extremely dorky and very dad-like photo on Instagram yesterday of just him hanging out on a tractor, doing farm stuff, being a farm guy with his Yeti hat and mirrored sunglasses where you can clearly see the arm of his reflection. It's pretty cute. It was really adorable. Look at you go, Carey Price. You cute little guy. Joe Sacco has his very first win as the temporary coach of the Boston Bruins. A shutout as well from Joonas Korpisalo, which in and of itself is kind of shocking. I mean, it's Joonas Korpisalo. It counts. As the Bruins take down Hockey Club by a score of 1-0. Korpisalo has been the better goalie for the Bruins this year, which is, I'm not sure if something is being talked about enough, because over his whole career, he's always been fine. Had moments with Columbus where we were like, there's a goalie there, but that's kind of it. Terrible in Ottawa. Almost goalied the Edmonton Oilers a couple of times, and then just putting together a nice little career. Good for Joonas Korpisalo. Is he a better goalie than Elvis Merzlikins? Did the Columbus Blue Jackets pick the wrong goalie to hang on to? You can make a case for it. And as we go into our who's getting fired this weekend, now that Jim Montgomery is out for the Boston Bruins, it only just seems like at some point a team is going to fire their coach just to hire him, as Jim Montgomery has put together one of the best coaching records statistically ever by a coach. After that incredible season the Bruins had last year where they just didn't lose, over his entire tenure of the Boston Bruins, he only lost 40 games, which is a purely insane stat. That is so silly. So you gotta think at some point someone is gonna go, I look pretty good. Whether that's someone like Andrew Burnett in Nashville, potentially if Kyle Dubas wants to go make a run for it and bring him up to kind of salvage something for Pittsburgh and finally free Mike Sullivan from his hell. Who knows? There's a lot of highly mediocre NHL teams. Jim Montgomery can also just sit, hang out, and wait for the right situation for him to pop up. If he wanted to, you get the feeling that he'd be coaching tomorrow in the National Hockey League. That'll wrap us up for this edition of Game on Hockey, your quick rip around the hockey world in 10 minutes or less. I am Graham Mosimann. If you like this show, please give it a little like on YouTube or leave a review on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you get your podcasts. Share it with a friend and help us grow this tiny little network for a bunch of just tiny little guys to hopefully a whole bunch of more people that can come and contribute and do cool things on this little thing that we call the Game Over Network. I am Graham Mosimann. My voice is starting to go again. Damn you, Bruce Springsteen, with your working collar songs. Working person? I don't know. For someone that's for the working person, the fact that a poster was $85 was kind of bullshit. Thanks, Bruce. Anyway, have a great and safe weekend. We'll talk on Monday here on Game on Hockey, a presentation of the Game Over Network.